Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah, Wallahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Walillahil hamd. My dear brothers, sisters, elders, first of all, Kullu aam wa antum bi khair. Eid Mubarak to all of you. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept your and our fasting and tilawatul Quran and our salah and our qiyam, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with us, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward us in keeping with His majesty and grace. We are gathered here today for the celebration of Eid al-Fitr. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this full of khair and barakah and to reward us for whatever we did in Ramadan al-Kareem. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for Ramadan, and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to reward us for what He gave us the opportunity to do. There are three bases of celebration of Eid al-Fitr: thankfulness, charity and forgiveness. Three things: thankfulness, charity and forgiveness. Let's begin with thankfulness, with shukr. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذْ تَأَذَّنَ رَبُّكُمْ لَئِن شَكَرْتُمْ لَأَزِيدَنَّكُمْ وَلَئِن كَفَرْتُمْ إِنَّ عَذَابِي لَشَدِيدٌ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Ibrahim that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala announced that the one who is thankful for his blessings, for the blessings that Allah has given him, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will increase him in those blessings. Will increase the blessings for him. Will increase the blessing in the blessing. Will increase the enjoyment of the blessing for that person. And the person who is thankless, then he should beware of the punishment of Allah. We ask Allah to make us among the shakirin, inshaAllah. We are thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having blessed us with Ramadan and with the ability to take advantage of it in good health and with enough spare time to do what we had planned to do. Let us reflect on what Ramadan brought for us and thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Fasting to increase our taqwa. Let us check whether our taqwa did increase or not. Rewards of deeds increased to 70 times the reward in ordinary times. Did we take full advantage of that? I'tikaf as the guests of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in His house, where even the sleep is ibadah, is worship. Did we do that? And the crowning glory of all that is Laylatul Qadr. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for granting it to us, and I hope that we took advantage of that and we really benefited from Laylatul Qadr. We express our thankfulness by increasing our ita'at, by increasing our obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and living by the blessed sunnah of His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. In Ramadan we stayed away from halal to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We remind ourselves how important it is to stay away from haram throughout our lives, to stay away from what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala prohibited. We know the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, where Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reported to have said that anyone who says La ilaha illallah with ikhlas will enter Jannah. They asked him what the ikhlas of the kalima is, and he replied, it is to stay away from haram. The ikhlas of the kalima is to stay away from haram. Let us make a pledge to ourselves to sanitize our life from everything which is haram. Haram earning, haram eating, haram speech, haram listening, haram dressing, haram occupations and hobbies, all forms of haram. Sanitize life from all haram going forward. Then ask for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's help. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has promised to help and helps those who want to obey Him sincerely. The Eid Salah is a symbol of our obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not only in worship but in our entire lives. Salah is the symbol of Islam. Without Salah there is no Islam. Salah is the declaration of faith in practice. Salah underlines and is proof of Iman. That is why there is no Iman without Salah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam declared that the differentiator of the Muslim is the Salah, and the one who has left it has left Islam. He said sallallahu alaihi wasallam, al-ahadu alladhi baynana wa baynahum as-salah faman aradaha faqad kafara. Wa qala alayhi salatu wassalam. Let us continue to pray as we used to pray during Ramadan. Let us continue to fill the masajid. Let us continue to be particular about attending salah by jama'ah in the masjid. Let not the masjid complain to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that it has been abandoned with the coming of Eid. Let us not do that. Let us make sure that the masjid continues to be inhabited, to be abad, to be full of people, to listen to the tilawat of the Quran, to watch people making dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let the masjid be a place which is alive, not a place which is a monument to beautiful carpets and to decoration. That is not the purpose of the masjid. The second thing we remind ourselves about is charity. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminded us of the day when our charity will help us. And He said, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu anfiqu mimma razaqnakum min qabli أن يأتي يوم لا بيع فيه ولا خلة ولا شفاعة والكافرون هم الظالمون. Allah said, O you who believe, spend from that which we have provided for you, or from what we have given you, before a day comes when there will be no bargaining, no friendship, and no intercession. And it is the disbelievers who are the zalimun, who are the oppressors. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to save us from zulm. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for our wealth by sharing it with those for whom we hold it in trust. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us that we are given wealth because of the poor and weak among us. The hadith of Abu Darda radiallahu anhu, he reported that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, seek me, look for me among the weak, for you are given sustenance and help only because of the weak amongst you. And this is in Sunan Abi Dawud. They are the reason. The poor people are the reason you are wealthy. Your wealth is not for you to enjoy and indulge in excess, but a means of earning Jannah. Let us use it for that and not leave it behind to account for it when we meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that whatever is with us will perish, and whatever is with Him will remain. وَمَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ بَاقٍ. Allah said, what is with you, with Him will remain. وَمَا عِنْدَكُمْ يَنْفَضُ وَمَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ بَاقٍ. What is with you will perish, and what is with Allah will remain. Let us make sure that we send everything with Allah so that it remains. It remains and it increases. Let us invest in Allah, because there is no other more reliable or profitable investment. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His help. The hadith of Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu in Sahih Muslim, where he reported that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, charity does not decrease wealth. Charity does not decrease wealth. No one forgives another except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases his honor, and no one humbles himself for the sake of Allah except that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raises his status. Which brings me to the third thing that we are thankful for, which is, and we should focus on, which is forgiveness. Eid is a time for the joining of hearts, for meeting those we have not met for a very long time, of healing wounds. The way to do that is to forgive. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam demonstrated that in Fatah Makkah, where He forgave His worst enemies who had caused Him material loss, mental torture, and character assassination, only because He invited them to goodness. He did not do it for Himself, He did it for them, yet what He got in return was pain and suffering and loss, yet He forgave them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Ar-Rahman. Our Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is Rahmatul lil Alameen. So what should we Muslims be? What should we Muslims be? Let us become the true followers of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and forgive people. I remind myself and you, let us clean our hearts and forgive for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَا يَأْتَلِي أُولُو الْفَضْلِ مِنْكُمْ وَالسَّعَةِ أَنْ يُؤْتُوا أُولِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْمَسَاكِينَ وَالْمُهَاجِرِينَ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ وَلْيَعْفُوا وَلْيَصْفَحُوا أَلَا تُحِبُّونَ أَنْ يَغْفِرَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ وَاللَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ. He said, and let not those among you who are blessed with grace and wealth swear not to give any sort of help to their relatives, to their kinsmen, al-masakin, the poor, and those who left their homes for the sake of Allah. Let them pardon and forgive. Do you not love that Allah should forgive you? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is of forgiving, most merciful. There are many hadiths on this subject, as we know, of forgiveness, of how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive those who forgive others in this world. Let us hasten to be among those who forgive each other. Islam is the name of the brotherhood of faith and the brotherhood of humanity. The Muslim is the brother of every other Muslim and the brother of every other human being, Muslim or not. We can only do that if we learn to look at the good in people and forgive the bad. Don't carry grudges. Carrying a grudge is like holding a live coal in your hand. It only burns you while the one you hold the grudge against is sleeping peacefully. We can only cure evil by loving those who do it enough to care about what happens to them because of that. You cannot cure cancer by hating cancer patients. You cure anything by loving the one afflicted by it enough to help him get over that ailment. For that, it must be willing, you must be willing, and we must be willing to take some pain ourselves. That is the meaning of brotherhood. That is why we need forgiveness. Finally, it was the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam to advise women separately during the Eid Khutba. I would therefore like to advise my sisters to remember that they are the last bastion, the last defense for their children in today's world. A world in which there is an enormous force to remove even the name of Allah from all aspects of life. This is not restricted to Islam. This is against God in any space or understanding. Worship of God is sought to be replaced with worship of the self. The cardinal principle of life is sought to be made. If I like it, it must be good no matter what happens to others. Sheltering children or running away to some other country is not the solution for two reasons. Firstly, there is no hiding place. Believe me, there is no hiding place. The culture is and will become more and more global. It is not restricted to what we used to call the West in the old days. Secondly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us to change the world, not to run and hide. We were sent to establish good and stand up against evil, not to run away at the first sign of resistance. The way to do that, the way to establish good and fight against and stand against evil is to bulletproof your children. Give them the armor of Tawheed and Taqwa. Introduce them to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to the sunnah of His Messenger Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, which leads to the qurb, the ma'iyyat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that they can practice it confidently and unapologetically. That is our strength and our best protection. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with you, nobody can harm you. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us who He is with. Inna Allaha ma'al ladhina taqaw wal ladhina hum muhsinun. Truly Allah is with those who fear Him and who are muhsinun, who are muttaqun and muhsinun. It is the responsibility of the parents, not teachers, not imams, not anyone else, parents, to make their children muttaqun and muhsinun. It begins in the home. Everyone and everything else are resources to use, because no madrasa, no maktab, no school, no masjid or anything else can counter the effect of a toxic, disobedient home environment. Raising children is a contact sport. It cannot be outsourced to others. That is why Jannah for your child is beneath your feet, O mother, not beneath the feet of the teacher. And you, not the imam, O father, are the door of Jannah for your child. Children listen with their eyes. They don't care what you say until they see what you do. You are their role models. Whether you like it or not, you decide what you want to be. Parenting is an honor to be earned and enjoyed forever, because your children are your sadaqah jariyah. Please don't squander that wealth. We talk about leaving a planet fit for our kids. Instead, let us talk about raising kids fit for the planet. Raising children is not a hobby, not a weekend pastime or entertainment. It is not even a job. because you don't get a salary for it. It's a lifelong commitment to molding a human being who is your legacy to the world. There is nothing that is higher and more honorable than that, and therefore that deserves your complete and total dedication. Please take it seriously. We are here to help you, but not to replace you. I want to end by asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our ibadat and our fasting and our sadaqat and our reading and tilawatil Quran and our qiyam and siyam and reciting the Quran and understanding the Quran and begging Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for a reward that He is pleased with. I wish you all the best for a blessed Eid ul-Fitr and many more to come in good iman and health. Once again, Eid Mubarak. Kullu aam antum bi khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.